Welcome back to the Bettor Hour, and look, it is fight night this weekend. We got to talk about this packed card for UFC 276. You already know the vibes. We got to get my guy Kyle Anthony in the building to talk to us about this card, where we should go with our money, what you think is going on. Kyle, what's going on?
I feel good, man. Big card. It's stacked. We got a lot of things to talk about today.
All right, let's get right into it. Stylebender's back. Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier. Now, Adesanya's won each of his previous 11 UFC middleweight fights. Where's the value in a match where the favorite is heavily juiced at 475?
Well, a lot of times in MMA, you're going to get these big lines. And a lot of people, sometimes they want to fade them. They want to get away from the minus 400, minus 500, sometimes to get up there. I think even Adesanya is getting up to that number. But method of victory is always going to be a great spot. And a lot of times, and again, you can only win an MMA fight 3 different ways: knockout, submission, or by points. So a lot of times you're going to get plus numbers. And even on Adesanya right now, you're getting a plus number in any of those methods. So that's going to be a spot where you could definitely take advantage of a line. And a lot of times people aren't looking to that. And if you want to get a little crazier too, you could do method end round, which is going to put a little bit more in there. But I don't suggest that too much.
That's like
often.
The fight party bets. When
Yeah,
you
it's
just
a high level.
You're just gonna throw something.
You're just winging it. That's darts. That's darts you're throwing there.
Kyle, now Adesanya and Cannonier have won 67% of their matches by KO or TKO. Now, when you look at DraftKings, they have a decision at minus 110 as the exact method of victory, and they have KO, TKO, and disqualification at plus 100. Where do you see the value in this one?
This would definitely, styles make fights, like they always say, and this is one here where I do think it's going to lengthen a little bit. And a lot of times with Adesanya, he's very risk adverse. This is not a guy that he wants to go in there with and just brawl toe to toe with. So he's going to definitely take his time. He's going to have to try to get away from some of the takedowns. So I do think that this goes to a decision. And again, I think the space that Adesanya is going to have is going to really help this go further. And even the same thing is going to be the fact that Cannonier has to push forward, so I don't really see that happening or him knocking him out either way. So I do think that a decision is probably the way.
You don't think that might leave him vulnerable if he's trying to go forward too much?
100%. And especially the way that Adesanya is good at faking, feinting. He's drawing a lot of those attacks out, good at countering. So yeah, I mean, that's why I think there could be some space there, or he's looking for those takedowns.
Nice. Well, I got another question. From a fight strategy standpoint, what does Cannonier have to do to beat Adesanya? Does he have to embrace that reckless physical approach by taking hits from Adesanya to get his own blows, or does he need to be conservative and get out of his reach, which is kind of a great question.
Well, that's definitely the thing. I mean, he can't be at range. I mean, that's the one thing. He can't be at range. He can't just be out there trying to work at range. Again, he's got to push forward. It's pretty much going to be grapple, brawl, get him up against the fence. He's got to check the leg kicks because that's a big part of it too. Adesanya has been very comfortable kind of being at the range and not, again, the risk-adverse part, but checking leg kicks will slow Adesanya down a little bit. And the big issue that I think a lot of times that Cannonier has is pretty much with movement. And a couple of the guys last time, he likes to dig in, he likes to sit in and throw heavy shots. If he can't really catch with the way that he's moving, I think that's going to be problems for him. So he's going to have to grapple. He's going to have to really throw the big shots, make it dirty, and that's really going to be probably his path.
He's going to have to do it all.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him.
The only person that's been able to beat Adesanya so far is moving up in a weight class.
Yes,
Jared has his work cut out for him. Let's talk about Alex Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. Now, Volkanovski has beat Holloway in the previous 2 fights by decision. So this is like a rivalry that's not really a rivalry because you've lost twice, right? Now, Volkanovski's plus 100 and Holloway is plus 275 to win by decision on Saturday. Are these the safest bets available for the fight?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, if you look at it, Max Holloway, his last 6 fights have gone to a decision. Volkanovski, the last 7, 5 have gone to a decision. So both of these guys are kind of death by accumulation. They're going to keep throwing a lot of shots. They're going to keep the volume up. Both of them have good cardio. That's going to help this kind of going. So I really look at this as being very similar to their last fight. So I think it's going to be down to the wire, getting to the decision. So either way, you're getting a better price. Even if you're looking at either one, probably the decision is going to be the better value.
Is this 3? This is 3 or 5?
This would be 5.
All right. See, that's why it's 100 and plus 275. Too many rounds.
Right. So Will Holloway facing him, as you mentioned, this is the 3rd fight. He's lost 2. Do you think that Holloway has it in him to regain that featherweight dominance that he once had?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, you definitely could argue also that Holloway won the second one. I mean, it was so close, and the way I had actually scored, I had it 3-2 Holloway. So I do think that he, I mean, again, this line would be completely different if it was 1-1. But he's faced top-level competition. Out of his last 19 fights, he's 16-3. The only guys that he's lost to was Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski. So he has pretty much beaten everybody else. He's got a big list of top-level guys that he's defeated. So if he gets 3-0'd here, and now, I mean, I don't know where Max goes because the champion has won 3 times. He's lost the champion 3 times. Does he go to another division? So it really brings up a lot of tough things for, I think, his career. But it's going to be a good fight.
Well, like in football, they say it's hard to beat a team the third time.
Yeah.
It's hard to anything, man.
Right. At that level.
Looking at strategy, these two know each other well. How much does familiarity play into this fight? Should we be looking outside the box in terms of bets because the outcome will be impacted a little differently because they fought twice and kind of know each other?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, you can get tendencies, you can get weaknesses, you can adjust. A lot of times the fighters, they're going to be adjusting during that particular fight. So with both of these guys, I don't really think that you're going to be looking, there's not going to be a submission, I don't think. It's going to be tough for both of these guys to get knockouts. So I think, again, it's going to be a similar outcome. I think they're so evenly matched that I think the outcome is going to be very similar.
All right, Kyle, you gave us a lot of great information, but now I need to know from the 2 fights, what are the best bets that you have for each?
The one that I like the most right now is Israel Adesanya via decision. Now you're getting off the minus 450, whatever it is. You're getting plus 130, 120, somewhere around there. And again, the last 3 fights for him all went to a decision. And he's just not, I just don't think, cutting the distance and keeping that range, I just don't think Cannonier can do that. And then the other one is going to be, I think Holloway, and we just kind of talked about it, Holloway via points. That's plus 250, somewhere in that range too. And again, if this was a 1-1 and he did actually, he should have gotten that victory, this line is probably at a pick 'em. So even if you're taking Max Holloway just straight, there's still value at plus 160, plus 170, whatever the line is right now. So those are the plays I think I'd go with on those.
Looking at that Volkanovski Holloway fight, how much does mental, like just knowing that you lost twice, how much does that play into going into this fight?
I think a lot. I mean, a lot of times you even see with the interviews, it doesn't mean anything. In their heads, they're like, wow, the guy kind of figured me out. Or, especially Holloway, he has not really lost very much. Now he's lost to the same guy twice. That has to have some kind of effect on you. So I think there's definitely a little bit of a mental, issue going on there.
All right. Well, got a great information for you, so you know the reward. The penalty from great information is to give us more information. So you stick with us. When we come back on the Bettor Hour, we're talking more for UFC 276 live on MSG. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.